What's good? This is JVB representing SPD, and that is sportsperdim.com. Well, it was a close game, but the Chicago Bears finally, after 4 consecutive losses, win today. They defeated Detroit Lions, who were without Matthew Stafford. News came out early this morning that Matt Stafford was not going to play because he has broken bones in his back or spine. It's crazy, and it came out of nowhere because this wasn't expected. I thought Matthew Stafford was going to play just like everybody else. But the news came out early this morning that Matthew Stafford wasn't going to play, and the former Florida Gator, Jeff Driscoll, was going to be taking his spot. And for Jeff Driscoll, he had a pretty decent game, especially in that first quarter where he led the Lions down the field. He converted some first downs. He's a good runner, so he made some plays with his legs as well. But he did pretty decent in the first quarter, The one thing that you can say that the Bears did well, the Bears defense that is held Detroit to field goals. They held them to 2 field goals. The lead was only 6-0. The Bears offense still looked like shit. Finally, that changed in the second quarter. Well, all the way at the end of the second quarter during the Bears 2-minute drill. They finally looked like a decent offense. They drive the ball 80 yards. And convert on a Mitch Trubisky to Brand Broniker touchdown from 18 yards, and it was a beautiful pass. Mitch had a couple of good passes in this game. He still had some inaccurate throws as well, but this was a beautiful pass that he put it in position to where only Brand Broniker can catch it. And Brand Broniker did a great job hauling in his first NFL career touchdown. The Bears are finally on the board, 7-6. And the Bears carried that momentum in the second half to start their first drive, and they took the ball down the field. Allen Robinson made some catches. Allen Robinson drew a penalty. He's not going to have the big numbers you see top NFL receivers have, but you cannot tell me that Allen Robinson is not a top 10 receiver in this league. Allen Robinson can beat you in a multitude of ways. He can catch passes in the slot. He can catch passes on the outside, be a deep threat. But he drew the PI on Darius Slay, who's a pretty good cornerback. They said it during the broadcast, but he and Stephon Diggs lead all receivers in drawing pass interference calls. And that's something that actually holds weight because that can change the whole narrative of an offensive drive. You just throw the ball deep and he gets a pass interference call for him. That's setting the Bears up in the red zone, if not near the goal line. But this set the Bears up deep in Detroit territory. Mitch Trubisky with a swing pass to Tariq Cohen. He had a lot of open field. He took it in for a touchdown. So 2 consecutive drives to end the first half and to start the second half. The Bears go down the field. They score touchdowns, and they were up 14-6. And it was a good touchdown for Tariq Cohen, man, because he has not had a good season. Even when he's had opportunities to make plays, he's dropped the ball. So it was good to see him catch this ball and use that speed that he has, get in the end zone, put the Bears up 14-6. Then on Detroit's very next drive, Jeff Driscoll throws the ball right to Nick Kwiatkowski, who gets the interception, who came in, stepped up for Dane Trevathan, who was injured with that nasty-ass elbow injury. I like Dane Trevathan. He's a very solid player, and even more so, a great leader for this Bears team, not just on the defensive side, but the whole team overall. Dan Trevathan is a great guy, but this is the last year of his contract, and I know it sounds fucked up a little bit because he did just have that nasty elbow injury. He's going to probably miss a lot of time, probably miss the rest of the season, but Nick Kwiatkowski can play. He had that interception, his first interception of his career. He also had about 8 or 9 tackles. He had a sack included with that. But when Nick Kwiatkowski is on the field, he's a very productive player for this Bears team, and you're not really missing anything, and that's not a slight to Dane Trevathan. That's more so of how good Nick Kwiatkowski is, because we saw this against the Minnesota Vikings early on in the season when he came in to play for Roquan Smith. And he came in, he showed up, and he showed out. So if the Bears decide to let Dane Trevathan go, it's cool because you got Nick Kwiatkowski, and he's more than capable of being a starter on this Bears defense. But after the interception from Kwiatkowski, the Bears are pretty much right in the red zone already, and it doesn't take long for the Bears to capitalize on a turnover. Mitch Trubisky throws a pass to Taylor Gabriel, who created some space, got open in the end zone. touchdown, 3 straight touchdowns for the Bears, and 3 straight touchdowns passing for Mitch Trubisky. So the Bears scored 20 consecutive points on the Lions. The reason it was 20 is because Eddie Pinheiro missed an extra point. He's been kind of shaky over the last few weeks, but nevertheless, the Bears are up by 2 touchdowns. Now, every single week it seems that I do a reaction video, I'm always criticizing something that Matt Nagy did. The Bears were up 20-6. And in my previous video, I said the Bears can get whatever they want on this Detroit Lions defense, passing or running. Now, they did get Mike Daniels back. Snacks Harrison was in the game. So it was kind of tough for the Bears to get the run game flowing. But David Montgomery's a fucking dog, man. Give this guy the ball. It doesn't matter if a hole is open or not. It doesn't matter if he has 2 defenders in his face. He's going to do his damnedest to get positive yards, to get as many yards as he could. But there was a couple of drives in a row where Matt Nagy went away from the run game. The Bears were up 20-6 in the third quarter. You would think you would try to establish the run against this Lions defense, choose some clock, keep the defense off the field. But no, he has Mitch Trubisky trying to make plays, throwing the ball, missing guys, holding on to the ball, getting sacked. And I'm thinking, do you want to win this game? Do you want Detroit to get any kind of inspiration to get back into this game, which they did? But I'm thinking to myself, why are you going out of your way to try to build confidence in Mitch Trubisky? Mitch Trubisky had 3 consecutive touchdowns. That's great. That's fantastic. Now that you're up by 2 touchdowns, halfway through the third quarter, why don't you continue to run the ball, try to milk the clock, man, and get a W? Because right now, this season at least, you shouldn't be worried about running up the score. Just win fucking games, man. But a couple of drives for the Bears, they got into Lions territory again. David Montgomery, man, he only had 60 yards rushing, but this man got so many yards when you thought he was stopped. He'll bounce off guys. He'll power through guys, gain 8 yards, gain 9 yards, get a first down here, get a first down there. But they got away from it. And on that one specific drive when they got into Detroit's territory, you could have easily ran that ball, man. He busted his ass to gain 7, 8, 9 yards. So just keep running the rock. Tire out this defense. Keep your defense off the field and continue to milk the clock. But no, they go play action. Mitch Trubisky throws the ball deep, throws it out the end zone. And then on the next play, he gets sacked. A very bad sack, by the way. Yes, Charles Leno fucking suck. But you got to throw that ball out of bounds, man. You cannot afford that sack. But Trubisky gets sacked. They punt the ball away. Detroit is deep in their own territory, but give credit where credit is due. Jeff Driscoll drove them down the field, converted on some third downs. He had a couple of completions to T.J. Hockenson, Kenny Galladay, and also himself. He threw a pass. It was batted up in the air. He happened to be the one to catch it. Then he takes a shot deep, and Mr. $14 million man, Kyle Fuller, can't stay balanced. He gets beat by Kenny Galladay. Touchdown Detroit, 20-13 now. And now it's a one-score game. And if Matt Nagy continued to run the ball, maybe this wouldn't be the case. But anyway, it's a one-score game, and it stays that way all the way to the end. Detroit gets one more chance. They get one more opportunity to drive the ball down the field. And Jeff Driscoll, again, did a pretty good job. He was getting the ball to his money guys, Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay. They made some plays. They also missed some plays, specifically Kenny Galladay, who had the ball go right through his hands. Could have been intercepted. But the Lions had one more opportunity. Jeff Driscoll rolled out, threw it into the end zone, but it was incomplete. Game over. Bears win. Matt Stafford didn't play, but you got to take the W's when you can. I don't think it's going to do much for the season, But it definitely helps with morale in the locker room because these last 4 games have been horrible. You've had pathetic performances. You had some heartbreaking performances. Each game ended with the same result, and that was the Bears losing. So the Bears pick up a win today. They go to L.A. to play the Rams next Sunday night. A primetime game between probably the 2 biggest disappointments in the NFC. But this was a nice victory. The defense played pretty well, They didn't get to Jeff Driscoll that much. They only had 2 sacks. They had the interception from Kwiatkowski, but I attribute some of that to Jeff Driscoll being a very athletic guy, being a good runner. That was his calling card at Florida. But they played well. They only gave up 13 points. It is frustrating, though, when you see them give up these third downs, especially third and longs. But the defense played well. And as far as the offense, they had them 3 consecutive touchdown passes. But besides that, they really didn't do much. Like I said, in the first quarter, they didn't do shit. They didn't do shit in the whole first half before that 2-minute drill. They had an impressive drive to start the second half, but they also got a turnover from the defense, which led them to a short field for their 3rd touchdown. So as much as it was good to see Mitch Trubisky and his offense actually have some success, it's still nothing to write home about. It's still nothing that you can really be confident about going into next week against the Rams on Sunday night. But nevertheless, the Bears won. It boosts up the morale in the locker room. This team has been down over the last few weeks. So it's good to get a victory, to try to get the stank up off of them. Open club dub up for at least this week and get back at it next week against the Rams team who has really underperformed as well. But let's see how this Bears team come out offensively and defensively next week after snapping a 4-game losing streak today against the Detroit Lions, who were without Matthew Stafford. But the Bears did what they had to do. They handled business, and they won 20-13, improving their record to 4-5. And now they'll go out to L.A. for another primetime game against the 5-4 Los Angeles Rams. But I'm out. Like the video and share this video. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy. God bless. Peace.